Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. Well, today I'm going to be starting off some potatoes, but I'm going to be using a technique that I've never used before, and I don't know whether any of you will have either. Now, I haven't made this up myself. I have seen this technique used by another channel. This chap called Jim, and his channel is Homegrown Veg, and he has a few unusual techniques for growing veg, and particularly using pots, and it sort of resonates with me because I use a lot of pots when growing my veg too. So I thought I'd give it a try because I've seen him recently talk about sowing and growing potatoes in this way. And what I'm talking about is actually, can you believe, using a carrier bag, a plastic bag like this, and a small pot. This is, I think, 15 litres. The idea is that you will put the bag in the pot, and you will put the soil and the potatoes in the bag, and you will grow them normally. But when it comes to harvesting, you can actually, if you're not sure whether the potatoes are ready to harvest, you can actually lift out the bag, then fold down the plastic bag, and you can see if you have any potatoes forming. And in fact, if you've got a few potatoes, you can actually harvest those without disturbing the roots. You can put the bag back into the bucket and grow on, and you can carry on like that until you have exhausted the plant. Now that's good, and this is good for me because I eat potatoes, whereas my husband Tom doesn't eat potatoes. Well, not so much anyway. And particularly when you've got lovely new potatoes, it's great just to be able to get the odd couple and have them, rather than, you know, having to have a whole plant's worth, or worry about keeping them, storing them. So that's the background, and that's what I'm going to try. So as I say, I've got my trusty carrier bag, I have a smallish pot, I have my potato. This one's a Charlotte. There's a couple of chits, not tremendously far on, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. So a couple of chits on my Charlotte, I have my label, and I have my compost. First things first though, before you actually put the bag into the bucket, you've got to make sure that you've got holes in your bag, because of course there's drainage holes in the bucket but not in the bag, and you don't want this just to fill with water. So, pair of scissors, and let's just carefully put some holes in the bag. There we go. Next, place bag in bucket. I'll do this. Now, what I did find today when I was finding a bag for this, not all of your sort of carrier bags, plastic bags, if indeed you have any nowadays, will fit the sort of width of the bucket. So there was a little bit of dragging things out to try and find one that fitted okay. Okay, so this is what I'm going to grow in. Now, where the compost is concerned, I have, in fact, let me just point you down at this and you can get a better view of what I'm doing. Okay, so in this tub here I have some compost. Now some of it is spent compost from a potato bucket last year, and I've mixed that in with some semi-rotted down wood chips and chicken poop from the chicken run, and I've added a liberal couple of handfuls of fish blood and bone to this. So we've got a nice well nutrient providing set of compost for the potatoes to grow in. Okay, so I'm just putting 3 inches or so of 3 inches or so of compost in the bucket. Then I'm going to place my potato in the centre there, bed it down, and then I'm going to top up. Right, I don't quite have enough, but fortunately I do have another bag of compost here. This is the shop bought general purpose compost, so I'll just top up with that. Just a bit more. And there you have it. Pop in the label. Now we're on the 14th of March, so still early on in the season. There's no sign of frost coming up in the next couple of weeks in the weather reports that I've seen, but of course that can change. But what I'm going to do is just leave this in a sort of sheltered location. I will probably, in fact, leave it in here. This is the sort of chicken plate area, and there's a tarpaulin over the top here. Plenty of light gets in, some weather gets in, but it's relatively sheltered. The only challenge I have are the chickens, but actually what I'll do is I'll get my sieve, my riddle, my soil sieve, and I'll just pop that over the top, and it means the chickens can't peck away at that and try and jump into the pot and scratch away at it. The potato itself is going to, it's obviously it's way down at the bottom towards the bottom of the pot at the moment, so it'll take a little while before the foliage, the hulls actually come through the surface, and that's I suppose when I really need to be more careful about protection, well, particularly from the chickens, but also from any cold snaps. But yeah, that's the pot prepared. I'd be interested to hear if any of you have any unusual ways of growing your potatoes. I think people are being a lot more adventurous nowadays. Now people have taken a step back and not assumed that you have to have a bed and a bed to grow your potatoes in, and people are using pots and of varying shapes and sizes. I think people are becoming a little bit more adventurous in the techniques that they use to see if they can get those early potatoes, or to see if they can get more potatoes than perhaps they did in the past. So yeah, let me know if you've got any unusual methods, or indeed if you want to join me and try out this technique. I would love if some of you could join along. Anyway, I think that's all for this little video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Share the video in social media if you could. That would help me to grow the channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe and click that bell, and you'll always be up to date with any videos that I post. For now though, I'll say bye-bye. Bye.